were in a store, and a guy in that store told us to put our uniforms on. What the hell are you talking about? He says, the USA is in a war with Japan. We couldn't believe it.
Well, our country was attacked. It's a different. It wasn't like Korea or Vietnam. We was attacked. And, you know, it was a feeling that maybe we're just dumb country people, but where I come from, but a lot of us volunteered.
Who would like to volunteer for the Tank Corps? Who would like to volunteer for the Air Force? Who would like to volunteer for Navy or whatever? And then they said, who would like to volunteer for the Airborne? So we said, what the hell is the Airborne? Nobody ever heard of it.
We came from a small town, and 3 fellows in that town that were 4F committed suicide because they couldn't go at different time.
I did things. I didn't do them for medals. I didn't do them for accolades. I did them because it's what had to be done.
The guy said, well, you jump out of airplanes. You know, you got all your Army equipment, and you jump out of airplanes to fight the enemy. They said, go to hell. Nobody put up their hands. And then, I don't know what it was, brought it up, but the guy giving the speech was saying, but you get paid $50 a month more. So that made it $100.
Standing in the door, I could see the lights on a drop zone. And I had to assume that was our drop zone, way ahead of us. And so that we had the red light, had everybody standing up, ready to jump. So when the plane started to get hit, and suddenly the pilot gives me the green light, I'm out the door immediately.
Got such an opening blast from the opening shock from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had on this helmet liner, and that's when I lost this famous leg bag that everybody talks about just from the shock of the opening. It just flew right off my foot.
We came from the sky, we hit, and in any direction you went, there would be enemy. You knew it. And that was all part of what you accepted.
How do you prepare yourself? Mentally, each man must do that himself. Each man must prepare himself mentally to make that jump.
In the back of your mind, you wonder what's going to happen and all that. You know, you've been trained and trained and trained, and what your job is going to be, and what you're supposed to do, and that's what you got to think about. You know, and we lost a lot of people that night, but you try to put it all on your mind.
I never thought I'd get through D-Day, let alone the next phase or the next phase. I thought I was going to get killed instantly.
I thought one of two things, a quick death or I'd come through probably without a scratch.
I think everybody had fear. I think there's people that can handle fear. I think I was probably one of them. I think I was just as scared as anybody else, except I could think.
It's a feeling you would not let yourself down, and you would not let your comrades or your unit down.
We all had fear, but we all had training to know that you try to handle your fear and work to accomplish what you're supposed to be doing.
The Toccoa men, that's the ones that was there at the very beginning. They are very close, and they accept people coming in like myself as a replacement, but you also have to prove yourself.
Well, most of them we know were qualified parachutists. They had to be. A lot of them were awfully green, and we knew that. We hoped we could keep them alive, or they could keep alive. A lot of them didn't. But, no, it was all right. They eventually blend right in.
I think maybe they were trying to impress
the older guys, maybe people like me or Shifty, or I don't know why, but I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly with replacements coming in because, God, I didn't like seeing them get killed. It just tore me up.
Because we were in awe of them. They were wearing infantry badges, you know, their uniform. They had a star on their jump wings. They were like heroes to us, you know. That's how we looked at them. And they were good. Furthermore, they were good. We had good officers for the most part, but we had excellent NCOs. They looked after you.
If you're a leader, you lead the way. Not just on the easy ones, you take the tough ones too.
A good leader has to understand the people that are under him, understand their needs, their desires, or how they think a little bit.
Seemed like he always made the right decisions along the way. He was a real soldier. Like some of the officers, I don't think I would follow them in the water. But he was one of the best.
He went right in there and he didn't, he never thought of not being first or sending somebody in his place. I don't know how he survived. But he did.
When we left for Bastogne, we were short of equipment. We didn't have enough ammunition. We didn't have enough warm clothes. But we had confidence that our higher military authorities would get to us whatever we needed.
And there was a ridge with a tree line. We were dug in on that ridge. Germans knew right where we were, and they really gave us a shellacking.
Well, like in Bastogne, we're down to one round per man there for a while. There's this fog was in, they couldn't resupply us. Every time they tried to drop supplies into us, they missed us and dropped them to the Germans.
One of the guys got hit in the arm with a piece of shrapnel, took his arm off above the elbow. And they were taking him out. He said, "Get my wristwatch off of my arm."
And then a medic came along, and I think he really saved my life because he stuck a syringe in a key position, morphine.
Even today, a real cold night, we go to bed and my wife will tell you that first thing I'll say is, I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne.
I've seen death. I've seen my friends, my men being killed. And it doesn't take too many days of that, and you change dramatically.
We was hungry, we had no food, we didn't have much ammunition, it was cold, we didn't have any clothes, you couldn't build a fire. If you build a fire, some crazy thing would shoot at you.
Everywhere you would look, you would see dead people, you know, dead soldier there, here, ours, theirs. Then civilians besides, dead animals. So death was all over.
You don't have a chance when your friends go down, you know, to really take care of them as you might, and especially if you're in an attack, moving or whatever. And I withstood it well, but I had a lot of trouble in later life because those events would come back, and you never forget them.
We had lost some very good men there. Toy and Garnier had lost their legs there. Gordon was badly hit. A number of other people were killed. It was a difficult situation there.
I don't know the exact amount of men that got killed in that, but 6, 7 of them were real close friends of mine.
Skip Muck died, and Eugene Rowe came to me about 10 minutes after he was killed, and he wanted me to see if I wanted to go look at him, and I said no, I wouldn't be able to stand that, so I didn't go look at him.
After Bastogne, we went to Hagano. There was another push there. We wanted to get some idea what was across the river there, what kind of strength they had.
You have a feeling you're going to live through the war. You have a feeling it's starting to ease off. You can't account for it. It's just a gut feeling, but everybody had that feeling. I believe I might be able to live through it. So walk carefully. Take care of yourself.
It was a situation there where everybody was happy to see the war coming to an end, and the Germans didn't really have that much of a heart for it, and they realized that the end was there.
We used to say only good crowd is a dead one. Well, but there was something in there that, you know, hey, that was a kid. Most of them were kids. We all were kids.
They had a job to do the same way as me, so we went about and did the job that we had to do.
I think we thought that the Germans were probably the evilest people in the world. But as the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se.
A lot of those soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have had a lot in common. We might have liked to fish, you know, he might have liked to hunt. You never know, you know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do. But under different circumstances, we might have been good friends.
A very unusual feeling, it's a very unusual happening, and it's a very unusual bonding.
We knew that we could depend on each other. And so we were a close-knit group.
Just brave, so brave is unbelievable. And I don't know anybody that I admire more than Bill Garnier and Joe Toy, and they were very, very special.
I'm just one part of the big war, that's all. One little part. And I'm proud to be a part of it. Sometimes it makes me cry.
The real men, the real heroes, are the fellas that are still buried over there and those that come home to be buried.
Seemed like you thought that you could do just about anything. And after the war was over and you came back out, why, you lost a lot of that. Or at least I did. I lost a lot of confidence.
We was hoping to stay alive, that's all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Henry V was talking to his men. He said, from this day to the ending of the world, we in it shall be remembered. We lucky few, we band of brothers. For he who today sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
Do you remember the letter that Mike Ranier wrote me? You do? Do you remember how he ended it? I cherish the memories of a question my grandson asked me the other day when he said, Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? Grandpa said no. But I served in a company of heroes.